Hello, my name is Diana Ballard, and welcome to the Mom Training Podcast, where we discuss the skills and strategies to create possibilities in motherhood and make it more fun, efficient, organized, and peaceful. So excited to have you join us on our first episode today. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I am a wife to my best friend, a mother of two littles, ages 3 and 9 months, and I am highly passionate about how I live my life. I'm a content writer and work 10 hours a week on projects or whatever else I want to. I love to laugh. I'm a world traveler, lover of people and learning. I'm always up for an adventure and I love details. And I'm kind of a total logistics nerd, which you'll find out as we get into this podcast in the next couple weeks. Prior to becoming a mom and wife, I was terrified to step into these roles. I didn't want to lose myself, give up adventure, and find myself with a list full of regrets of things I wish I would have done. From my single and kidless mindset, I feared the responsibility of being a wife and mother. I was so scared it would be limiting, and sadly to say, I feared that it would destroy me. It had taken years and years to break through fears and insecurities to create the life that I wanted around me, to be able to travel, to continue personal growth training, to become the person that I wanted to be. And I didn't want to lose everything that I had just worked so hard to become and create. In 2009, I was introduced to a different group of women, mothers and wives who were doing tons of crazy cool things, traveling, financially independent, had great relationships. You could just tell they were so happy and enjoyed what they were doing. These women created their lives and did it with their husbands and kids by their sides. This sparked some interest in family life for me, and I started looking around for other women I could learn from. I interviewed handfuls of moms of all different ages and found that the moms that were the most balanced and happy and fulfilled all contained different skill sets and mindsets than the moms who were struggling more often. In 2012, I became self-employed and found out that the same skill sets of self-care, discipline, priorities, organization, focus, money management, time management, and hard work went right along with what I was learning with these women. Running a family was like running an organization or being self-employed. So it gave me the perfect opportunity to practice these skills I was collecting from interviewing these women. Since then, I've documented, refined, and practiced these skills for years, and I'm so glad I did before I had my first baby. It has saved me so much stress and trouble by practicing these skills, and life has continued to be fun, with tons of possibilities. Since getting married and having kids, we've hiked into Havasupai, traveled to Bermuda, the Caribbean, Europe, and more. I've moved forward with goals I hadn't accomplished yet, and have hope about doing more fun things in the future. My goal with this podcast is to help mothers learn some skills to create their life, design it, and love it. How to decrease the stress, decrease the busyness, and actually be able to do what they really want to do, which I believe is loving your family, having your sense of identity, and doing cool things together as a family, like vacations, living in the house that you want, and having everything that you need. When I was about to get married in 2014, I researched everywhere for something that would teach me how to be a mom. And not the fluffy stuff, I mean complete strategy and skill set that would give me the freedom to live life however I wanted to. Little did I know that the compiled information I had collected from all these women over the years would be the exact resource I would have loved to find, which then created the Mom Training Podcast and resources, helping women define motherhood how they want it to be and receive the skills and strategies to help them be successful in their wonderful career as mother. This Mom Training Podcast covers 5 elements: nutrition, self-care, emotional and mental coping, routine and organizational skills, and relationships. We hear tips like, you need to take care of yourself, feed your family healthy, be happy and enjoy it, get organized and on a routine, you need a support system around you. Okay, but how the heck do you actually do these things? I don't know about you, but I have to have things mapped out, broken down into realistic little pieces and experiences and moments to know how to apply it to my own life. And that's what we're going to talk about here on the Mom Training Podcast, about nutrition, how to feed your family healthy food. What does that even look like? How do you do it on a budget with time constraints and feed a family that may have picky eaters? Self-care, figuring out exactly what that means for you, what you need and what fills your bucket. Not just that it's okay to take time for yourself, but how to take time and make time for yourself. How to make those boundaries and protect that time for you. Emotional and mental coping, and what that even means, how to practice it, and how to use these skills in stressful, heated moments. I feel like emotional and mental coping is hardly ever talked about. Yeah, teach me to be happy, but what do I do when I'm ticked off? So frustrated I want to drop to the floor and cry. I mean, let's be real here. What do you do in those times? And have we been trained in how to deal with the hard times? Such a big deal to know how to cope in these moments. Routine and organizational skills, how to figure out what your priorities are, how to honor them by giving them time. Not what's important to others, what the media is trying to teach you, but what is important to you and what matters to you. How to create a routine and organize your time first so that you can then organize everything else. And how to get your family on board with a new routine. Relationships, how to build that support system around you and why it's so important. How to have healthy boundaries with yourself, kids, spouse, family, whoever it may be. And how important it is to have other moms you're connected to. To let you know where my heart and passion is coming from, I truly believe that mothers are one of the most important people on the planet. Not only are they creating life, the next generation, but mothers are highly influential in training the next generation, teaching them how to be good citizens, love people around them, and love and believe in themselves. I believe that as we each become mothers, our desire is to teach our kids and love our kids as best as we can, to give them an edge on life, to help them succeed in what they will face in the future. Mothers are given such amazing gifts of love, of nurturing, of helping, of teaching. But when a mom is imbalanced, when a mom is completely drained and overwhelmed, it's so hard to be able to give your best self. There are so many people hurting in this world, and I truly believe that an organized and well taken care of mother who can help her family also be organized and well taken care of can change so much. So what if we could prevent a lot of problems and struggles in our family by making sure that we, the mama, was taken care of and organized, and how much of a difference that makes to have the family on routine, making sure the important things are taken care of around the house, to be really watching what we're doing with our finances, and that everyone is getting the sleep and nutrition that they need. What if we were able to help create that? And what if it was just as simple as learning how to organize ourselves? And with a handful of skill sets and strategies, a mother can feel more balanced and efficient in her time and efforts, therefore creating a more healthy home environment. Perfection? Who are we kidding? But to be highly efficient, that's our goal. It seems that more mothers are becoming depressed, anxious, and really struggling. I believe a lot of that is because of distraction, being overwhelmed because they are too busy with too many things on their to-do list, and also not having the skills and strategies of how to organize their priorities, surroundings, family, and time. Then, on top of that, the expectations of what motherhood is supposed to look like, when deep down inside we really don't even want these things, like keeping up with the Joneses, running from place to place, schedules so filled with activities, appointments, and whatever else, leaving us drained, exhausted, and then feeling guilty because what we really want inside isn't fulfilled and taken care of. Which then leads to distracting ourselves from those feelings through social media, shopping, working, whatever it may be, creating a nasty cycle that leaves us mothers feeling alone, unfulfilled, and overwhelmed. I took a psychology class recently called The Psychology of Addiction. One thing we learned about was soft addictions, which means there are addictions that seem harmless, like addiction to social media, food, shopping, and working. So no one really thinks they're a problem. The teacher then handed us a paper that had a list of hard addictions on one side of the paper, like alcohol and different types of drugs. And on the other side, she had an entire list of soft addictions. She then asked the question, which side do you think is worse? My mind instantly went to the family. What happens when one or both of the parents struggle with soft addictions? I want you to think about it. A workaholic that's never there or continues work once they return home. A social media addict who is constantly on their phone and not connecting with others right around them, specifically the kids and spouse. Debt up to their ears and a cluttered house from a shopping addiction. Long story short, the soft addictions of the parents not only taught their children to cope in the same way, but left the children without as much parent involvement as they needed, and feeling neglected in some form, whether physically, of not having a parent there, emotionally and mentally, because maybe the parents were there with them physically, but were emotionally and mentally unavailable. You get the picture. These children that felt neglected in some form were found getting into hard addictions like alcohol, drugs, and other substances to cope. Therefore, I believe the soft addictions, or the things that might seem less harmful, are just as harmful. Fast forward a couple more months, and my eyes continue to be open to how important emotionally, mentally, physically available parents are, and specifically the mother's influence in the family. We have all heard the statement, if mama's not happy, then nobody's happy. I believe that to be true. If a mother or any individual in general feels good, is taken care of, and feels they have a handle on what's in front of them, they are more able to be resilient in trials, patient with things that irritate them, and have more clarity in thoughts and actions. So the goal is to help mothers lighten their load, lower stress, pressure, and overwhelm, so they can shine in their beautiful gifts as a mother and be what she wants to and needs to be for her family. When it comes down to it, there are ways to increase our fulfillment. This mom training program is not just about creating a healthier, more efficient environment for your family, but is about making sure you, mama, are taken care of so you can handle and take care of everything that is in front of you. These skills and strategies I will share with you will not only help lift some burdens, but will give you, the mama, more freedom, peace, possibilities, and relaxation, which we all know we need some of that. I truly believe it is possible for you to achieve this, and that you are completely capable of learning new things and designing the world around you. I really feel that more people who experience joy and fulfillment in their life need to share what they are doing and why. When I was debating creating this podcast and some resources for moms, one day I remember having the most amazing day with my family. Everything went perfectly. I felt so good because all the important things were taken care of, I was taken care of, and our priorities had all been honored that day. In that moment, I said to myself, why would I want to take time away from this life that I love to work on building something? A voice then came into my head and said, Diana, out of the 168 hours in a week, don't you think you could take 10 to help other mothers feel the same way you do right now? From that moment on, I decided I would move forward and do the best I could to share my message and how I live my life in hopes that it could potentially help other mothers organize, love, and feel fulfillment in their role as mom. I am not perfect. Motherhood and family life has many unexpected things. I still have bad days. I'm still a major work in progress. I'm a real mom with real struggles and real challenges. But when I practice these skills and mindsets I will share with you, my life is so much more harmonious, happy, peaceful, and balanced. Family life becomes a place where possibilities live, and I can teach my children the same things. I invite you to join me as we learn together how to take care of others and ourselves in the process. If you are listening right now, you are here for a reason. I believe there is more for you in this life. More peace, more fulfillment, and a heck of a lot more fun. You are 100% capable of becoming the mother you have dreamed of being, loving your kids the way that you want, living the family life that you want, and taking care of yourself in the process. I am excited you are here, and for the changes that can occur when learning something new. I promise you that if you dig in and listen to what I am saying and practice the skills and strategies that I will teach in this mom training podcast, your life a year from now will not look anything the same that it is right now. These skills and strategies can help you get where you want to be. I know that to be true, and I know that you can learn these new things. You are important, and you are needed. I invite you to join me next week for our next episode, talking about Mother's Day and how we can change our mindset and experience on that day. And if you liked today's show or were moved by it, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You never know how someone's life can be changed by sharing. With this being the first episode, let's spread the word and change some lives. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook at Diana Ballard Live. That's at Diana Ballard, Live. I'd love to connect with you there and share more about my life and learn some about yours as well. Thank you so much for listening. You are awesome, and see you next week on the Mom Training Podcast.